Hey guys, just taking all the sheets out. I've got to take 2 pop rivets from the top up here out. I'm going to put a sliding door in here and then I can put my battery system over there. But this is pretty much putting a sliding door into a shed, so I've got to get rid of my earth stake down there. I'm going to have to move it over to here somewhere. This is what happens when you start working on something and then you realise you've got to do it a different way. Anyway, let's keep working on it. Hey guys, still working on it. I've been using my grinder. I started using these. They're the best side snips you can get for this job because they have an angle when you're cutting. But I was having problems because it's actually screwed up the top. And I'm going to replace that lower bit, so stay tuned for that bit. I'm going to change that over and put a different rail in, because this rail's, if you look at it closely, it goes from quite large there to really thin here, and I've got another one sitting out there. So they're only tied together with about 4 screws, so I'm going to have to undo all this to get to those, which is a pain in the ass, but that's life, isn't it? We all have to do our little bits and pieces. So this is going to come out and going to brace that on that end, and I'm going to put a boxing, hopefully a boxing up the top, or I'll work something out. I just went and got 4.2 metre long bits from Bunnings and asked them to cut it in half. This is 1.8 metres long, this piece of wood. Yeah, they're a bit short, so I don't know what happened there. But it was only $20, so I'm not going to complain about that. We'll just keep going on it. Cheap Ozito grinder. I have got a really old Makita there, but it works fine, and I'm missing the guards off that Makita. I'm missing the guard off there, so you've got to be really careful. So I would normally wear gloves, very hardy gloves when I'm doing this, because I do not like having no guard on my grinder. It's not a good thing. It's not safe. It's bad safety straight away. And yeah, I've been cut before with one of these things years ago. One of my mates had one like that. But yeah, I know I started cutting from the top down, and I've worked out if I start lower, if you've got the grinder around the right way, lower, and follow it up, like if it's meant to follow the grain and follow one of these lines along, you'll get a better cut. So I started down there. That's when I ran out of grinding wheel, so I'm going to continue now. I missed the other one, the 2 helicopters. I got one. Yeah, they were both coming in. Better light. I didn't have a long enough, or I couldn't reuse the staples I had, so I drilled a hole on an angle, go straight in and then down, and attached these 2 pieces of wood together and made sure that they're level. So you get your level down there and you level it up. I've got 2 levels, one, and just level it on the side, so you've got it nice and level, and then level it on the other side to make sure you got level. I've got ants, and they seem to want to live in the sliding door already. They were at the front before. I cleaned them all out of here, and they're back again. So I'm drilling into the concrete, and I'm going to put another brace on the side. Not that I probably need it. And also I've attached the 2 rails with some tech screws, wood tech screws into it. So that's nice and tight. And then all I have to do is fix up the top, make a boxing if I want to do that. It's not going to go anywhere anyway, but I'd like to have it all sorted. And then we just put the glass in and away we go. And then we just got to put our corner covers on to make it look nice and neat and spiffy. And I could only get 1 metre to 1 metre, so it's not going to be perfectly spiffy, but it's a shed, so yeah, it's a shed, everyone. I've got a spare hat that I can use if I need to up the top, which I might use, and join them together and then run it across the top. and drill it in, and that'll hold the roof section in position as well. So all good. As I'm still working on this, I've actually put a beam up the top, and I'm going to connect to the wood up there that's already there, and I'll put another piece up the top and screw it in, and that will box that in, and they're about 440 millimeters. Not sure what that is in inches, but anyway. So this is held real well, so that was a good idea. This is all nice and solid. I've actually screwed it into the ground so it's nice and solid. So the whole thing's level and square, and we've replaced the bottom rail, which is really easy to do. And now we have to just fix it up, make it look nice. So, and the wind is absolutely beautiful here because the weather's around about 34 degrees. So it's been a bit of a day. I've got that locked up there and over there, and I put a bit of hat behind it so that I could actually attach it to this. I've still got a bit to cut out and then put a J section under here. So I've got the screws in there, so that's holding that at the moment. And then I've got to cut down the angle bracket stuff because it's a bit big for putting in there. It's the right length and everything, or right position, but just need to work that. And then I've got to work out this bit here off my old bench, and that's going to be the hard bit because this doesn't go underneath it, but I might be able to double it up down the bottom just to cover it all in. And yeah, just have to put the actual door in. I've got to put some glue or something. You meant to put rubber underneath there, and I suggest you do. I haven't. I know what the level of the water is here, but I'm going to put some Celastic underneath it to keep the water out, and I'll just lift it a little bit and just put Celastic under before I put the door in. So we'll keep working on it. Hey guys, I'm still working on it, and I've got the doors on, or the door on. I'm still working. I've got to patch that up. This goes in the front and it just slides in. I thought this was going to be really hard to put in, but it was really easy. It just goes in front of where the flywire screen goes, and you just got to have your main track, which I can't shut that door. I've got to put new wheels on the bottom of it because the wheels on it are absolute shite, but that's okay. It'll do for the night, and I'll have to do more tomorrow. I have to cover in this. I've got to cut this up a bit higher, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. This will need a big, I might have to give it a clean. What do you reckon? Give it a clean? I don't think it's going to need more than a clean. It's going to need, it's been sitting at some guy's house for a long time. Yeah, I think they sell these for around about $1,000, and you're pretty much paying for the glass. Like, I got another piece of glass in there. I remember hitting one of these with a whippersnipper. I think it was $500 to replace the glass up here. I don't know why it was so dear, but it was dear to replace that glass. I think they saw me coming. But yeah, I'll give it a good clean, and we'll get onto it. And I think I'll show you how these go in, but mainly just these have two little screw holes. They're not actually screw holes. I think they're for putting pop rivets in. One there and one down the bottom, and that'll hold that in place. And yeah, they're pretty easy to get out. You can just lift them out, lift them down the bottom and lift them out. So if you wanted to repair the glass, and I think this is, well, it's either up to a comment. This is the first time I've ever done one. I was going to get someone to show me, but they've got to go to work tomorrow, so they couldn't help me. So I had to do it by myself. Anyway, that's it for the moment, and we'll keep working on it. So slowly getting there. I've doubled over this tin that I picked up from the hardware shop, because if you put it singly, you'll see the line, so you need to double it over. and you'll need to measure the side to make sure that it's square. This one wasn't square. You can see that actually comes out. This is going to be clamped together with another piece of this stuff. That's going to get cut up a little bit higher to go underneath this two double board I've got under there. I'm now starting to screw that in to hold it all together. So it's slowly coming together now. So just using leftover wood to do that. And yeah, and then I've replaced the wheels on this and replaced the bottom track, as you know. And then all I have to do is change over the lock, and we're pretty much, yeah, probably about $200 worth to put an old slider in Australia. Now I'm going to measure this with my little ruler. So that's normally around about, oh what, 52, 50, let's go 52, because I've stuffed up there. 52 will go. And if I went the other way, it would just be two and a bit inches. I don't know how to read that. Thing's made in England. Oh, never knew that. Stainless steel. God, be worth its weight in gold. Stanley, did you make stuff in England once? Unbelievable. Okay, I'm just going to keep working on it. Hey guys, this is a quick one. I just had to replace the locks on my, or one of the locks. I haven't got two of the locks. One of the locks doesn't fit at the moment, but I've got the front lock put in. Now, to take it apart, you take this screw out. You've got to press, and you've got to take the screw down the bottom out. Press it in, because if you don't press that in, you can't take that off. Some people must have played with that at some stage, thinking that was the way to get it off. Then there are two screws here, which we'll take out. So I'm not using a electric version of this, so undo these. These are all different, so you undo the two screws and that will come off at the front. Now there's normally a plastic bit at the bottom, you got to hold on to that, and you'll pull out one of these. Now, this is the old one. So then you've got to measure the length of this, because that goes, this is basically what it does, it goes through there and controls the pivoting points of these two locks. So, and then once that's in, those will come out. If that's not in, that button's not in, they won't come out. So if you try and turn it, it won't do much there, unless you press that in, and then you'll be able to do that. I can't do it with one hand at the moment, but it will do that. So that's about all you have to do. Put it back together, try and line up the screws and screw it back together again. You'll probably have to go out and get a new lock like I did. And I'm going to try and pull apart the second lock, because I've got a funny feeling I'll be able to use that on this side, but technically I don't need it, because I'll just lock it from the inside if I need to, and pretty much I won't need to, I don't think. I've got a bit of cleaning to do on the window still, but it's come out pretty good. The slider works fine, and I've got to screw the screws. These screws have to be on the outside, not the inside. So yeah, that fixes that, and making sure in this case, most cases you'll have the glass marker down the bottom. So yeah, I thought I had that around the wrong way and I was incorrect. But yeah, this is just a quick Soldier's 5 on how to replace your lock in your door lock to save yourselves a couple of dollars. Yeah, all good. Okay, so I've put the side flashing on. I needed 3 pieces on here, and I've cut this out now. I made it into, it's part of this wall here. I've cut a strip. It's not perfect at the end, but it's pretty straight. And I'm going to tap it in there. I'm going to use this as my channel to get rid of the water, either end. You need that to get rid of your water when it rains, so it doesn't fall on top of you. and it'll drip outside the area, so you're not going to get wet when you run out of your shed. So yeah, pretty much almost done. There's a lot of cuts in that, so I had to cut it up. It's going to go above to cover up all my mistakes, which I've got a couple of mistakes up the top. If you really look, you'll see them. And I've just put this on. It's on rollers, so the original one was a 1980s door. It had some plastic poppers and things like that, and it didn't really work really well. This one here has a little bit of a problem. It's not too bad. So it's got wheels on top, so the wheels fit in there. So you adjust them, just your flywire screen with the little screws in here, clockwise to push them up and anti-clockwise to push them down. There's 4 of them, and yeah, I took one of these off because they were both on one end, and they were on the wrong side for me. So I popped them both up either end, so I used some pops, and then I put on the inside, I had an old, this came off the 1980s door. It's a I don't know whether you can actually see that really well. It's just a door handle, but yeah, I got that done. Everything's done there, so pretty much by the end of the day I should have it finished, and then I've got to get on to doing a downpipe on top of the roof before I get back to doing the solar. I need to get some more cable, some ferrules. I saw Andy was saying something about ferrules. I think it's a good idea, so I might go and get some. And yeah, so it's all finished, and that's it for my build. My build of to lighten up my solar area. So my solar area is over there, so if you're subscribing to me for solar, I will be back onto it quite soon. I have a couple of other videos I'm doing. I have a couple of servers that I'm thinking up, and I have to do a thing on something I got from Europe the other day, and it will help with this system here. More to come on that. That is to do with my L1, L2 connections. So yeah, I think a lot of people will be interested in that one. That's it for today, and I'll catch you on the next one. So please subscribe if you can, if you've stayed this long.